This movie fucking did it. This is seriously how you do a goddamn sequel or follow-up right. What is up, guys and Spider-Man fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Owen the Brinker, and of course, my most anticipated animated film of the year has finally arrived, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I am so freaking pumped to review this movie. Today, of course, I am going to review Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is the highly anticipated sequel to 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And of course, this movie stars the return of Shameik, Jake Johnson, Hailee Steinfeld, with some new people from Kaluuya, Issa, and Oscar Isaac. Now, of course, guys, there's a lot of things happening in this movie, and I'm going to keep this review as vague as possible. So, of course, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. Of course, if you have not seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, you guys are completely safe here. But man, I'm just so excited to review this movie, guys. I am so pumped. Let's get on to the review. After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. Of course, guys, this is my most anticipated anime film and also comic book movie of this year. Seriously, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has been one of the biggest surprises, I would say, in comic book movie history. We didn't know what to expect for that movie, and we didn't expect that movie to be as great as it is. I love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's probably one of my favorite animated films in a while. It's probably in my top 3 favorite Spider-Man films with Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home. It's a movie that blew me away. I literally saw it 3 times in theaters. And it's a movie that I'll always remember for comic book movies because of how fantastic that movie is. With great animation, great characters, great action scenes. And I would even say it's the movie that probably brings Sony Pictures Animation back on track. So of course, we have been waiting for a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse for a very long time now. Across the Spider-Verse has finally arrived. I was very, very pumped for this movie, of course, while also feeling very skeptical because, of course, Into the Spider-Verse is that great. How is this movie going to top that movie? And oh my gosh, guys, somehow this movie freaking did it. This movie fucking did it. This is seriously how you do a goddamn sequel or follow-up right. This is the first movie in the 2-parted Spider-Verse series, and oh my gosh, when this movie ended, I didn't want it to end at all. This movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, so it's the longest family animated film, and oh my gosh, I didn't feel that at all. Because guys, not only that this film is one of the best animated sequels that came out in a long time, not just that this is one of the best animated films of this year, or comic book movies of this year, I would say this is absolutely so far my favorite film of this year. I loved Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse from start to finish. I just want to get onto the animation of this movie because holy shit. The animation in Across the Spider-Verse is something out of revolutionary. It is something that we have not seen in an animated film before. It's like when we watched The Matrix for the first time, how mind-blowing the visual effects and the atmosphere looks. That's how I felt with Across the Spider-Verse. The animation is literally next level shit when it comes to animation alone. The animation looks absolutely stunning in this film. It just felt like a complete art painting coming to life. There are different universes in this film, so of course the animation changes from time to time. And oh my gosh, it just looks like different sections of art paintings just brought to life. It looks stunning in this film, especially when it comes to the action scenes in this movie. It looked incredible. And a lot of anime films are trying to top this animation. Nothing can top Across the Spider-Verse because, man, the animation is some of the best animation that I have ever seen. But I would say the story of this film from start to finish was really well done. And the characters in this film are much more improved, in my opinion, than the first movie. Miles in this movie we get to explore more of his character a lot in this film. And Shameik, of course, does a really great voice performance as Miles. Even though we got a lot of spider people in this film, Miles Morales is still the main character in this movie. And the main focus of this film. We get to explore more of his chemistry with his family. And it's really well done in this film, and it's definitely bringing up a lot of heart to his character. And the stuff that Miles goes through in this film, without spoiling it, holy shit. It's just that mesmerizing and also really intense. And I would say Miles' character in this film is fantastic in the film, and probably now one of my favorite protagonists in Spider-Man movies, because literally Miles' character, you feel so related to his character, and you follow his arc throughout the whole way through. But I would say also what's really surprising about this film is that Gwen in this film gets more of a spotlight in this film. I thought she is great in Into the Spider-Verse as a side character. This movie, we get to explore her character a lot more when it comes to her backstory and her arc as well, and Hailee Steinfeld, of course, does a great job in this film. And I think Gwen's chemistry with Miles in this film brings a lot of heart to this film. You really like them two together. But Gwen definitely gets much more explored in this film, and what she goes through in this film, without spoiling it, you literally feel very sympathy for her character. Jake Johnson, as well as Peter B. Parker in the film, is still great. He's still the lovable Peter B. Parker that we know and love from Into the Spider-Verse. He's not the main focus, but he is great in the film. From the other side characters of this film, Issa Rae was really good in this film. Also, Jason Schwartzman as Spot in this film. Not gonna spoil his character, but man, this character brings a lot more to this film than I thought, and I thought he does a really great job as Spot. Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk is so freaking awesome in this film. He's probably one of my favorites out of like the side supporting characters in the film. He's just that great. But of course, we need to talk about Spider-Man 2099 in this film, played by Oscar Isaac. I love his character. From start to finish, you're invested in his character, you understand his motivation in this film, and he's a character that you don't know if you want to decide that he is a hero or villain. And I just really think they established his character very, very well in this film. They build his character up very, very well in this film also. And Oscar Isaac, for his third Marvel film with X-Men Apocalypse and Moon Knight, I thought he does a terrific job in this film. And I definitely would say it's probably one of the better performances out of the three of them. The action scenes as well in this film, even though I did mention with the animation, but I would say like the atmosphere with the action scenes, the moments, I love it. It's probably some of the best action I've seen in the Spider-Verse movie so far. It is filmed very, very well. It is a lot of fun while also being intense. This movie has a great balance with darkness and also fun. This film is also freaking hilarious when it needs to be. There are some great comedic aspects of this film where I was killing myself laughing, but also this movie is very, very deep. There are a lot of bits in this film where I was almost in tears. This film has a great emotional impact to the characters in the film. And also, guys, the Easter eggs of this film. The spider people in this film. There is a lot of surprises in this film with a lot of spider characters, some Easter eggs and all that stuff. But what I like about the Easter eggs in this film is that it doesn't overdo it. It brings it where it needs to be, because this film mainly focuses on Miles' journey in this film. And I just really appreciate that. Like, the Easter eggs are there, but it's more about the story that I really love this movie the most. This is a part one of this Spider-Verse saga. There's a split into two parts movie. We got Beyond the Spider-Verse that's coming out next year in March. And after this movie ended, I was seriously mad. But not mad in the way that you think. I wasn't mad saying, oh my god, this movie sucks. I was mad because I wanted more from this movie. I wish those two movies are literally in one freaking movie. Because since this movie is part of the split into two-part movie, this movie doesn't feel completed. Because you just wanted more from this movie because you enjoy the story, you enjoy the characters, you enjoy the animation. You just wanted more from this movie. And do I think this movie is better than Into the Spider-Verse? In my opinion, absolutely. I think this movie tops Into the Spider-Verse in every single way. Because you follow the characters a lot more. This movie goes deeper than the first movie does. It builds up to something where we're really excited to see and we wanted more out of. Into the Spider-Verse is definitely a fun build-up, and it's still a great film. It's still in my favorite Spider-Man films. But Across the Spider-Verse is how a sequel should happen. This is basically the Empire Strikes Back with animated films. Honestly, this film is that freaking good. It ends with a cliffhanger where you're like, you just wanted more out of it. Like, seriously, I literally wanted to scream no after walking out of this film because I just wanted more of it because of how fantastic this movie is. If I would have my only nitpick of this film, it's the soundtrack. It's still great, but I wouldn't say it's as memorable as the first movie was. But that's just nothing because, oh my gosh, guys, overall, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is absolutely my favorite movie of 2023 so far. This is one of the best animated sequels that came out in a very long time, or even best sequels that came out in general. It's a movie that has a great story, a great build-up to this split into two-part movie. The characters are much more explored well in this film, with Miles' character that you really follow in this film, but also Gwen in the film gets a bit more of a spotlight, and Hailee Steinfeld does a great job. Spider-Man 2099 is a great antagonist in this film, with the other side characters that brought into this film. It's really well done. It's a very hard movie to talk about without spoiling, because there's so many things in this movie where I'm like, oh my god. I just cannot talk about without spoiling it, but I have to. This is a non-spoiler review, guys. I'm doing this for you guys, but this is probably the hardest review I've ever done because there's so many things that happens in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse where I'm like, man, I wish I can talk about it in this video, but I'm doing this for you guys. Go see this movie as soon as you possibly can because, oh my god, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse just exceeded my expectations in every step of the way. And this is the movie that I'll absolutely remember this year. And of course, after this movie, I cannot wait for March 2024 for Beyond the Spider-Verse because I am absolutely going to give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse an A. Now, the reason I'm giving this film an A, not an A+, because of how incomplete this film is. I bet you Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to top this movie, so I'm going to keep it an A for safety reasons. But if Beyond the Spider-Verse is great, this movie would have received an A+. But guys, this is absolutely my favorite movie of 2023 so far, and hopefully Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse absolutely stays there. So guys, that is my review for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like this film, hate this film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel now for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.